Hey everyone. So me and Brian thought it'd be really interesting to answer some like marriage, wedding questions kind of thing. So we'll just read off the questions and then we either just answer as one whole or we'll each answer a question depending on what the question is. Okay, so the first question is, does being married make you feel different? Um, really, being married, it definitely doesn't make me feel different. Um, not to me, anyways. What about you?
Not to me really either. I don't really feel much of a difference.
Yeah, so I mean,
Wedding
really
or
not.
not.
I think it just depends on someone because, like, for us, we've been together so long, like, it just doesn't feel different. Um, so next question is, what scared you the most about being married? You want to answer that first?
I don't really know. Not really anything really scared me. It's just doing some legal things that I didn't know how to do.
I think that was the most scariest part for me because I have a lot of anxiety, and it's like getting your like I didn't realize a lot how much work put in like to be able to get married legally. I mean, you have to go to the marriage license, get all marriage license, go to the courthouse wherever that place is called to get the marriage license, and then you got to find a place to get married, and then not just that, you also got to think about all the stuff.
It's all expenses.
Yeah,
How
it's
much you want to put into it.
yeah, and then you just have to. It depends. It really depends on how big of a wedding you want, or if you want a wedding. So yeah,
You don't
it's
have to.
just. I
Somebody
have a
do.
lot of anxiety with that. So I didn't realize how much it was, and I mean, like, it's not really scary. It's just like a lot of anxiety for me, anyways. Okay, next question is: has anything changed since you've been married? Um, Not really. I mean, nothing really changed since we've been married. I mean, the only thing that's changed is my last name. But that's the only thing that has changed. No.
I'm trying to figure out what changes that would mean. Nothing really. I don't think anything changed. I don't really understand it, so I don't know.
Nothing has changed, really. Just my last name. That's the only thing that's changed. Um, Next question is: Did you once have second thoughts of being married? Did you ever have second thoughts of getting married with me?
Not really. It's more of just like it goes back to me saying like expenses, like how much should I save up? You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think about that stuff. Like I already knew I was wanted to get married at some point. I just didn't know when it was gonna happen. I didn't even know it was gonna be my birthday. Of course, I knew afterwards. I expected it to be like further on. So not
But
really.
did you ever have second thoughts?
No, I just said no.
Okay, so for that, I kind of had second thoughts of getting married, but not in a way like not because I'm gonna marry him.
Scary.
It was more of it was on my the night before the um, wedding. I woke up and I just cried and cried and cried. I was just anxious. I was
You were,
nervous.
I know.
You weren't there.
You told me.
But anyways, I was so anxious. I was nervous. I had a lot of thoughts going through my head. But my bridesmaid and my maid of honor, they helped me kind of calm down. My grandma helped me calm down. It was just, I don't know. It was really weird. I've never had that. Like, I was so excited, and all of a sudden, it's like all of this just drops on me. I mean, it's nothing about like having second thoughts about him marrying him. It wasn't that. It was
I'm
just.
demonic is why.
It, shut up. It was just, I don't know, the thought of being married. I mean, I don't know.
That's understandable. I was pretty
Hopefully that
anxious.
answers your question
I was
again.
pretty anxious when I was there.
Um, how did you know he or she was the one? How did you know I was the one?
Well, well, it gets me thinking. I don't think a lot of people really liked me in that way to begin with. Sounds kind of depressing, but I just personally believe that. But she, on the other hand, I feel like she did. I mean, at first it was a little complicated, but I'm sure, haven't we told them any of that before? Like, you gave me a great YouTube video about it? Yeah, then I don't have to say anything about it, because I don't remember. So yeah, not, I don't know. What about you?
Um, for me, it was a little bit difficult. Um, it's hard to, okay, when someone asks you like how you know someone's the one, it's kind of hard because there are, okay, there's different types of love, and love doesn't always mean, that person's the one. It's the way they make you feel, or, it's just that, I don't know.
It's more of a
Cause,
foggy
cause,
road.
cause, cause a lot of people are like, oh, they're the one by that little, like, you get the little butterflies in your stomach. That's not it. Cause I mean, if that was the case, you'd be thinking a lot of people are the one because of like
You would
crushes
be.
and stuff. So for me personally, me and Bryan, how am I supposed to explain this?
I don't know. It's
Um,
complicated. It really is. I mean, there's not really
I think
a guide on
okay,
how to do what.
no, but it's our personal.
I know.
But for me, I think it was a lot of things I went through like a lot of the rough patches, like where a lot of people had left me before, whether they were my boyfriend or whether they were just friends. Bryan tended to stay with me in the fact that I was able to open up to him about like a lot of my bad past, and he was able to accept the past, but he didn't see me as my past. He saw me as, just someone just trying to just someone that's had a bad past and wants to move on from it. But also, seeing my flaws now, and it was like, okay, that's fine. I still like you. It's and it's not just just words. It's also like the action he put in. So I mean, to me, that's how I knew I had the one. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard, but
There's a lot of explaining to do.
okay. Who brought up marriage first?
Well,
I think
I think it was you.
I think it was me. I think it was back in 2016.
I'm trying to think.
It was 2016 or 2017. Because I think it was the middle or end of 2016 or the beginning of 2017. But it wasn't like, oh, let's get married. It wasn't that kind. I mean, we just talk about like our future and stuff. I mean, we honestly didn't know if we were going to last that long or anything. I mean, we weren't we started dating back in February 2016, so it wasn't like, oh, we're planning our wedding or anything, but
Yeah.
it was just like, our thoughts, our dreams, our, future plans, that kind of thing. But I had brought it up.
Yeah.
What does marriage mean to you personally? Um, well, everyone I think has a different meaning of marriage. Like for me, marriage is like a promise to be there and support one another through the good and bad times, and
Commitments.
yeah, commitments.
That's the
But
biggest
I
one to
mean,
me.
I think you can put that as for like friends or family too. But I feel like this is the person you want to be with for the rest of your life. The person you want to have kids with, or I mean, might not even want to have kids, or animal babies,
Yep.
or the person you just want to die with. And marriage is a
Get old and
it's
wrinkle.
in a way it is a contract. It's a contract that ends when you die. That's why in the what do you call it?
Till death do us part.
Yeah, till death do us part. That's the end of the contract, unless divorce or something. But to me, everyone has different opinions on this. But to me, I don't. It's gonna sound weird. I don't believe in divorce. And people who have had divorces, I respect them. I'm not making anything bad about them, but in my opinion, I feel like you should work it out any way you can. I mean, sometimes me and Bryan, we have those big arguments where to the point where it might even come to the just the word of it
Or
about
thought,
divorce,
anything really.
but we're able to kind of separate for a while, even if it's like we have to be away from each other for 3 or 4 days or even a week. We will go separate places. Like I might go with my grandma, he might stay here, or he might go somewhere and I might stay here, and we'll be away from each other for a while. and after that we'll come back together, talk about it, and it's a lot better. I feel like um I don't know. I just feel better that way.
I just go out on walks for me though.
Yeah. But I mean also we don't have the cheating issue for us. So I mean that's a little bit different, and I can understand the cheating issue, like I guess divorce for that, I guess.
Well, yeah, I could
But like
understand
I'm just
that.
saying, like for like different things. Like I mean if it's like cheating, or if there's like something really major, then yeah, I understand getting a divorce, but I feel like I should say I believe in divorce, but I don't unless it's extremely necessary.
Yeah, basically you just want to work it out first and see
Yeah.
go from there.
Okay. What's the next question? Um, what was the best or funniest part of your wedding?
I think there were a lot of funny parts, but I'm trying to think.
This is best or
I know.
funniest. I think the funny. Okay, it's funny, but it's not funny. So when I'm in the room, it's before we're getting married, but I'm in my wedding dress. I'm getting ready in the back room. Brian's in um, the main part of the church, or what I'm going to call it, chapel. And my mom was doing my makeup and hair, and my bridesmaid Amy was helping, and my grandma, who was the one who walked me down the aisle, and then my maid of honor Beth. We were all back there talking, and Beth, my friend Beth, she starts crying. She goes, "Oh my gosh, you're getting married!" Just starts crying, and Amy starts crying, and Mom's like, "You guys need to stop crying because you're gonna make me cry." So my mom starts crying, and then my grandma's crying, and I'm trying not to cry because my mom just did my makeup. So there you have Amy, Beth, my grandma, my mom, and me crying, sobbing in the back. Just Beth had to end up leaving because she's like, I'm gonna ruin my makeup and everything, and
That's probably why she
it
laughed a
was
lot. I know she
yeah,
walked in and I heard her about 100 times.
yeah. She walked out. She's like, I just can't see you. You're just too pretty, and you're getting married, and I'm so emotional. But it was kind of funny. It was funny because we're just all emotional females just crying. What
Mm,
was the best or funniest moment for you?
there's so many. I'm just saying because the best is, but I'm terrible at making that decision. What would be the best one?
Or what's a
Some of the
moment
pictures, I don't know. One that
like
sticks out in the mind with a picture that someone took. Um, it had us in it, and Beth was actually in the picture behind it, and I think she was crying at that time, so her face is kind of.
oh yeah, someone had caught a
I like that
picture.
one. I don't know why. I really
So
like that one.
someone had caught a picture of me and Brian. It was a really good picture. And in the background between us, like in the far back, you can see Beth crying. It was so funny.
That's the one that sticks out in my mind the most. I can't think of
I don't
what
know
is
who
the
took that.
best. I don't know.
No. Okay. What were our wedding colors? Our wedding colors were black, white, and light blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what we picked. Did you have that emotional? I guess this is for me. I guess, but only. Did you have that emotional? Oh my God, I'm getting married moment. So a lot of females I've heard, when they try their wedding dress on, they see the right wedding dress, they get emotional, like oh my gosh, I'm getting married, like this actually is happening. I never had that. Um, I did, but not the wedding. So people, the bridesmaid and the people walk out, to go up there, whatever, and then the bride comes last, walking down the aisle, and it was my turn to walk down, and my grandma was like, "Okay, Anna, it's your turn to come out," and I'm just like she was whispering it, so, and I started going, and I just started crying, and I'm like, oh no, I'm actually getting married, like this actually is happening, and I'm like, oh, why does this have to happen now? So I had to take like a few like seconds. Because everyone was waiting for me to come down, and I'm just like, okay, stop crying, stop crying, stop crying. But yeah, yeah, I had that moment. Last question is, what is the best advice for couples thinking about marriage? My best advice for those couples would be, so the couples who don't live together, or, you know, I feel like you should, you might, I'm not saying you have to do this, but this is how we did it, but I feel like you need to live with each other before you get married, because living with someone and just being in a relationship with someone is completely different. Like, it's majorly different. And I feel like if you can live, with that person you want to marry for so long and, get through things and whatnot, I feel like everything, I think just being married will work out. That's just how I feel. So I guess my advice is live with each other before getting married. What would yours be?
Probably the best idea. I think I'm just gonna go with yours. I mean, I'm not good at giving advice. Decisions.
Yeah.
Make good decisions. There you go.
Make good decisions, he
Yep, I know.
says.
What decisions? I didn't even mention any.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all of the questions we have for right now about marriage. I mean, we might answer more like 5 years down the line, but I know as someone who used to not be married and looked at married couples, I always wondered a lot of that stuff. But also, just for you guys to know, just because our answers are our answers doesn't mean your answers will be the same thing. So everyone has their own personal answers. This is just ours. So, anyways, I hope you enjoy.
We'll come back and do more when we're 80 years old.
Shut up.
400.
Shut up. Bye bye.
Bye bye.